This is a special report from About Space Today.
The moon will soon have its own time zone. The White House is now asking NASA to create lunar time. The idea is to provide a timekeeping benchmark for lunar spacecrafts and satellites. This comes as the U.S. tries to set more international space standards in the middle of a growing lunar race.
Welcome to Special Report. I'm David Denault. Lunar time zones? Or maybe we should just call it Moon Standard Time. Well, today you'll hear some remarks by Kevin Coggins, the Deputy Associate Administrator and Program Manager, Space Communications and Navigation Programs for NASA. Next, as America and the world is listening to Special Report on About Space Today. Come to the land of orange groves and palm trees. Come to the land of theme parks. Come to the land of sunny beaches and the azure waters of the Atlantic Ocean. So come and visit Florida for lasting memories. Email us. Email david.ddcruiseandtours@gmail.com or call D&D Cruise and Tours at 877-747-8631 for your next family, cruise, or theme park vacation. Let us provide you your next visit with our travel experience, not experimentation. We are members of IATAN and CLIA. Email david.ddcruiseandtours@gmail.com. Serving the Southeast, traveler since 1985. Welcome back. Well, NASA is really spot on with developing Moon Standard Time. Einstein's theory says that time is really based on gravity, and the Moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth, and where time moves faster than Earth. NASA Deputy Administrator and Program Manager, Space Communications and Navigation Program, Kevin Coggins, in an ABC interview says we will need a universal time standard for the Moon.
I tell you, just like on Earth, we're going to need a universal time standard for the Moon, so that communications networks, navigation networks, the science missions, the commercial missions are all on the same time standard, so they can all talk to one another and share data together. How it's going to work out is, just like on Earth, we're going to need to set up clocks on the Moon and figure out what kind of errors we have to correct based on the motions of the Moon and any distances, any differences with the timing on Earth. There are absolutely differences in timing. Time actually is affected by gravity, and Earth has a higher gravity than the Moon does. So the time on Earth is actually slower than the time on the Moon. The pace of time is going to depend on many different things on that, celestial body that you put it on, including its gravity. And so one thing that's very important to know as well is we need to make sure that we need to communicate from the Moon back to the Earth. And so we'll also figure out the errors between those as well.
So just how will NASA go about the process of developing a universal time standard?
Well, first we architect how we're going to do it. And then we develop the technologies we're going to put on the Moon that are going to be resident and powered on the Moon for this infrastructure. And the core of that is going to be atomic clocks on the Moon. Well, we're starting based on how we've done it on the Earth. We've learned a lot over the past, 100 years of doing time on the Earth with atomic clocks. And we're going to replicate some of that architecture on the Moon. Well, we have science missions and commercial missions that already go to the Moon, and they'll be able to test those before we send a human. But when we have humans on the Moon, they're going to be able to use technology that's based off lunar time. Actually, we're working with many international partners to do this. We have many partners, including ESA in Europe, and we're working with them so that we're all doing this together, and we have a universal lunar time standard.
And finally, how far are we away from having Moon Standard Time?
We're probably just a few years away from it.
NASA Deputy Associate Administrator and Program Manager and Space Communications and Navigation Programs, Kevin Coggins. So let's put this time issue into perspective. In a span of 50 years, time on the Moon would only be 1 second faster. And as a reminder, Special Reports will have a new time slot, twice monthly reports on the second and fourth Wednesdays. Join me on February the 12th for Challenger, they were alive. Thanks for listening from your home or where you work. And if you enjoy our reports, click follow and subscribe. I'm David Denault.
This has been a special report from About Space Today.